Here's how to start your very own Blackwater aquarium using the botanical method. This is the tank we're building, and to demystify this whole thing, it's really not that different to a normal aquarium. You just use botanicals. And just like a normal aquarium, you start with a substrate. I generally go with something natural because it's replicating what you would normally and naturally find in a river. I reckon that's enough. Now, what we're trying to replicate here is called a biotope. And for those of you guys that don't know what a biotope is, it's simply like a little slice of a certain habitat or an area in the world. You're just trying to replicate that. A Blackwater biotope is an area where lots of trees, leaves, twigs fall into the water often and make the water quite muddy or turbid. The key word here is tannins. So I'm gonna make this thing look like a riverbed, and then I'm gonna add in some of the things that would naturally fall into the tank. You wanna get a good mix of fresh ones, which are already pre-sunk, and dry ones, which are gonna obviously release more tannins as they do in the first couple of days of their existence. The next thing we're trying to replicate is the leaf litter. Because we live in Australia, we're gonna go with gum, and yes, this is biotope safe in smaller amounts. So, to replicate our fallen tree, and the godfather of all botanicals, catalpa leaves or Indian almond leaves. Always have a few of these in your fish room. Now you notice this is starting to look similar to a real life scenario, but there's some things missing. Bonus points if you can guess what they are before they go in the tank. If you guessed driftwood, 10 points to Gryffindor because that's exactly what's missing. So the goal here is to put these in like they naturally fell into the scape, so that you're creating the randomness that nature actually comes with. I know it might not look amazing, but give it time and tannins, all will be good. And now we slowly fill it, get really frustrated at the fact that all of our botanicals are floating, but fear not, they're gonna sink. Now you'll notice this tank hasn't leached any tannins yet, but give it 24 hours and we're starting to get a nice tint. The last thing before I can just leave this system and establish an ecosystem is a bit of filtration. So it's the same sort of filtration as any other aquarium, just tack it on, let it do its thing. The one thing I will say, don't use carbon, don't use filter fleece, don't use anything that buffs or polishes the water. You want to just use biological sort of stuff. So coarse foam or those ceramic media rings is all you're going to need. In this case, I'm just going to chuck this bad boy here, jack it out so it looks good, and get her started. There we go. Yeah, baby. You might notice a bit of scum on top of the water here. That's totally fine. Let nature do its thing. It doesn't always have to look pretty. You may get algae growth, you may get weird bugs and insects, but it's okay because it's all part of this ecosystem establishing itself and getting stronger and stronger and stronger, which is exactly what we're looking for. And now it's as simple as just waiting. Let that ecosystem establish. I'll update you guys when the tannins start leaching into that tank in 24 hours. I hope you learned something. Subscribe for more videos just like this.